The year is 1635 and the Mughal Empire is at the height of its power, ruling India through a mix of fear, tyranny and oppression. And on April 25th, one of the greatest betrayals in Indian history will occur as an adopted son turns on his father and an army of 20,000 Mughal soldiers will face off against a meager force of 1800 Sikhs during the epic Battle of Kartarpur in 1635. But before we delve deeper into this epic battle, don't forget, if you want to find out more about wars, weapons and warriors from Indian history, then subscribe to my channel Lethal History. It is a misty and cold night in April, and in the region of Punjab located in northern India, the roads and trails leading to the small village of Kartarpur are alive with movement, as in the darkness a massive Mughal army closes in from multiple directions, tightening its grip around the town. At its head are imperial commanders, Afghan chiefs and thousands upon thousands of Mughal troops. And inside Kartarpur waits a much smaller Sikh force, battle hardened, deeply motivated and fully aware that by dawn they may be fighting for survival against impossible odds. Estimates place the Sikh strength at around 1800 fighting men, while the Mughal expedition is often given a rough estimate of around 20,000 soldiers. Whatever the true numbers may have been, one thing is for certain: the Sikhs, being led by their sixth Guru, Guru Hargobind, are heavily outnumbered and under-equipped. But the sting of betrayal makes the circumstances of this forthcoming battle even more tragic, as one of the leaders of the Mughal advance is a Muslim named Painde Khan, and he was once a favoured warrior and friend of Guru Hargobind. Some accounts even state that the Guru loved him so dearly that he had even adopted the young Painde Khan as his own son. But now he was ready to repay that love with betrayal, as he had returned to meet the Guru as an enemy, and his intimate knowledge of the city of Kartarpur's defences and the fighting strategy of the Sikhs meant that this all-out assault could potentially mean an end to the Guru's power once and for all, and perhaps even an end to the Sikh religion. And what followed was not just a siege, but one of the most dramatic battles of the 16th century. Welcome to Lethal History, and let's begin. So, to better understand the Battle of Kartarpur, we first need to take a step back and understand the political situation of the time. Relations between the early Sikh Gurus and the Mughal state started out amicably for many decades, but the relationship would deteriorate sharply after the martyrdom of the 5th Sikh Guru, Guru Arjan Dev Ji, in 1606 by the Mughal Emperor Jahangir. Guru Arjan Dev Ji was the father of Guru Hargobind, and in response to the new authoritative and tyrannical rule of the Mughals, he developed a very different model of leadership from the other Sikh Gurus, one that fused spiritual authority with armed self-defense. And this phenomenon would go on to become known as the doctrine of Miri and Piri, the union of temporal power and spiritual power in one person. Guru Hargobind symbolized this power by wearing two swords at all times, highlighting that from this point onwards, the Sikh community would no longer exist only as a devotional and passive religion, as they would be prepared to resist oppression by force and military might if the need should ever rise. And by the 1630s, the Sikhs had become a well-trained military machine, and they were a constant thorn in the side of the Mughal Empire, having already defeated them in several battles during the early 1630s. And these conflicts convinced Mughal officials that the Sikh community was no longer just a religious movement, it was becoming a militarized regional power that needed to be dealt with rapidly. After having secured his power base, Guru Hargobind was settled at the city of Kartarpur, building an enormous imperial fortress there, which not only possessed strong defensible positions, but a city that housed veteran Sikh soldiers and commanders who were always ready to protect their Guru and their religion regardless of the cost. And it is at the city of Kartarpur that a split occurs between Painde Khan and Guru Hargobind. And according to Sikh narrative sources and oral history, Painde Khan had entered Guru Hargobind's service as a young Afghan and rose rapidly through the ranks because of his ability, bravery and the Guru's personal favour. and he would eventually grow close to the Guru's household and be welcomed into their family as one of their own. But this relationship would eventually break down, and early Sikh tradition places the rupture due to wounded pride, jealousy and resentment over a perceived slight at the court of Kartarpur, as Painde Khan was dissatisfied with the gifts and honours that were being bestowed upon others rather than him. Whatever the cause may have been, the outcome was clear. A trusted commander defected at exactly the moment Mughal hostility towards the Sikhs at Kartarpur was at its highest. Painde Khan went to Mughal officials, reportedly first to Kutab Khan of Jalandhar, and argued that Guru Hargobind could be defeated if a strong enough expedition force was dispatched to face him, and this proposal aligned very neatly with the interests of the imperial throne, and Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan authorized a major campaign against Kartarpur. Overall command would go to Mughal General Gale Khan, while Kutab Khan, Painde Khan and other Afghan officers joined as sub-commanders of the force. And on 25th of April 1635, the Mughal army would appear outside the town ready to decimate the military strength of the Sikhs once and for all. And on the Sikh side of the war effort, lead command rested with Guru Hargobind Sahib himself, with additional support being provided by his experienced commanders including Bhai Bidhi Chand, Bhai Jati Mal and Bhai Rai Jodh. Also present at this battle were two of the Guru's sons, Baba Gurditta and a young warrior by the name of Tyagmal, who would later go on to become remembered to history as Guru Tegh Bahadur, the Sikh Guru who sacrificed his life to protect the lives and religion of Hindu Pandits in Kashmir. But that is a story for another time. The Mughal plans to conquer Kartarpur appeared to have been two-folded, as they combined siege pressures with direct assaults on the city walls. However, the Sikhs had prepared for such an assault, and they were able to beat back the initial wave of Mughal soldiers. And so ended the first day of battle, or so they thought. But then came the night assault. Mughal troops attacked the city of Kartarpur for a second time, but this time under the cover of darkness, perhaps hoping that their superior numbers alongside the element of surprise would overwhelm the defenders. But the Sikhs did not rest on their laurels as brave and effective veteran warriors, as when the Mughal assault came, they were met by a rain of arrows and matchlock fire, and a discipline that the Mughal soldiers could not match. And that is because during a night attack, large armies often lose some of the advantages that come with their numerical superiority. Coordination becomes much harder in the dark, units bunch up and end up tripping over one another, and defenders firing from cover can create confusion and disruptions in the ranks much more easily. And this appears to be exactly what occurred at the Battle of Kartarpur, as the Sikhs used volleys of arrows and musket fire, followed by quick sallies to strike down disordered imperial troops before pulling back into the fortress. And in this night assault, a key Mughal general named Anwar Khan is believed to have been struck down by an arrow shot by Bidhi Chand, one of the key commanders on the Sikh side, causing further havoc and chaos within the Mughal ranks. And by dawn, the Mughal plan for a quick night victory had failed. Hundreds or perhaps even thousands of Mughal soldiers lay dead, but the Sikh defenders had taken minimal losses themselves. But this would only force the battle into the third and most deadliest phase, a full broad daylight assault with nothing held in reserve. Eventually, the Mughal soldiers would break through the first line of defenses of the Sikhs, with the battle breaking out into desperate hand-to-hand combat and a mix of hit-and-run tactics by the Sikh warriors. The Mughals were slowly making ground, but they were paying dearly for each inch of it. Casualties began to mount for the Mughals, with the Sikhs having a better understanding of their terrain and the numerical superiority of the Mughals being minimized by the narrow roads and pathways within the city. And then the emotional core of the battle would take place as both Guru Hargobind and Painde Khan would face each other, swords drawn and ready for a duel to the death. Sikh narrative tradition highlights this encounter as the defining moment of the Battle of Kartarpur, the Guru facing a former companion and commander who had betrayed him, but meeting him without hatred in his heart, even allowing Painde Khan to make the first strike. And Painde Khan did not hesitate, he attacked the Guru with his talwar. But the Guru parried the blow and with a single decisive strike he killed the traitorous Afghan soldier. But in the last moments of Painde Khan's life, Guru Hargobind showed him great compassion and mercy, urging him to remember God in his final moments and to say the Kulma before he passed. It is stated that the Guru sat there kneeling beside the dead body of Painde Khan, remembering the love that they had once shared. But the Guru's grief would be cut short as he would be confronted by Ghail Khan, the leader of the Mughal army, and with his sword raised he would attack the Guru, but Guru Hargobind would easily defend against the blows and end the life of Ghail Khan with one decisive strike from his own blade. And with their great general Ghail Khan dead, and their sub-commanders Painde Khan, Qutb Khan and Anwar Khan all also killed as well, the Mughal forces lost the cohesion needed to continue the assault, and the army retreated, leaving behind the bodies of their generals and thousands of Mughal soldiers. The battle was hard fought and bloody, but Kartarpur remained in Sikh hands, and a small force of 1800 Sikhs had been able to defeat a Mughal force of over 20,000. Additionally, this battle also marked a turning point in the Sikhs' military strategy, as after this battle, Guru Hargobind moved his base of power to Kiratpur in the Shivalik foothills, where the terrain offered greater security and other strategic benefits. The Battle of Kartarpur is often treated as the last major battle of Guru Hargobind's reign, even though tensions and smaller clashes would occur with the Mughals from time to time. But Guru Hargobind is remembered to all of Indian history for being the first to instill a sense of both a saintly and soldier-like mentality within the Sikh community, and the Battle of Kartarpur shows how quickly the Sikhs were able to utilize this doctrine to defeat much larger and more powerful forces. So hope you found this deep dive into one of the lesser known battles of Indian history to be interesting, and if you did enjoy this video, please do like and share with others, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel Lethal History so you can find out more about wars, warriors and weapons from Indian history. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.